All right. Hey, everyone. Wanted to talk today about something I haven't really discussed before, and that is horses who are in a barn and have a stall, okay? This here's Comet. He is not my horse, but he is one of the horses in the nearby pasture. That's his brother, well, not by blood, but just by family. His brother Thunder is right behind him. They are both Arabian horses. And then in this next stall right here, we have their other brother, again, not by blood, but just by family. That is Phoenix. So they're all, it is a rainy, cold winter day here. And you can see Comet is standing in his stall, and he is eating out of his hay bag here. These are really great hay bags. They come from a company called Smart Pack, and you can see that it mimics natural grazing for him. These are big 2-inch holes here, and these are not the stringy type of hay nets. Lots of times with certain horses, especially him, because his teeth are so weird, when he eats out of the string style hay nets, which I'll show you in just a second, they can actually become wedged in between their teeth. And so this thick kind of hay bag is great for him because they're so thick that they don't get wedged in his teeth. So he's got his little rain sheet on here. And for those of you that know Comet's story, he is a rescue horse. He was actually shipped off to slaughter, but they had an accident and he somehow fell off the slaughter truck and they couldn't get him back up. So a rescue group got involved and he ended up getting adopted. He is here now. He's under veterinary care. He is underweight, but we are slowly adding weight. The veterinarian does not want him eating free choice hay because he eats it too fast. He can choke on it. So this is what the vet wants him on. He's also on grain. He gets that, and he's doing really, really well. He is gaining weight slowly and safely. We do not put him on hay cubes, which are these little cubes of hardened hay that you soak. Again, with his teeth and the way he eats so fast, we are worried that he might be a choking risk, so we do not give him that. But he's doing great. But anyway, this video, I wanted to actually talk about stalls, okay? So this barn is an outdoor barn. It's a feeding barn. It's not the main barn that's up at the top. But we've got a sliding pre-fert door right there. And then over here we have Dutch doors that open up and then they close. This would fully close him in on this side. And then, you know, those over there are open. But we have the Dutch doors all pinned open right now so that the horses can just have a throughway. This is perfectly fine for them right now because it still gives them shelter. They can stand under it. They can get out of the wind and the rain. And of course, he's got his coat on. So, you know, he's doing totally fine. But Comet has a really long winter coat anyway. What did you do here, buddy? He actually scraped his neck here. He scraped it up against some, I don't know, a tree or wood or something. And he kind of broke the skin. But we've got a little bit of medicine on it, but I can see he rolled because he's got some sawdust shavings in that. So we'll clean that up again. But he's fine. He just skinned himself a little bit there. But this that I'm standing in and that Comet is standing in is it's actually shavings, okay? And the reason we put these down in the stalls is because it helps insulate a tiny bit, but it also helps for when they pee. It absorbs it. It's kind of like kitty litter. So whenever you have a barn, you want some type of, footing on the ground to absorb the urine. They also love to lay in it, roll in it, indicative of this. You can see you can see that he rolled in the shavings and it's stuck to that medicine, that goop that she put on him. But, shavings are great, but you do have to be aware of what kind of shavings you're getting. You can buy them from a store like Tractor Supply or something like that, and they come in big bags. And then you can, lots of times they're pine shavings or whatever, but you do want to be careful if you're getting them from a local source. Like these come from a local sawmill. And then we also have another source that's a local cabinet maker. And what they do is they make cabinets, and then they have this big chute that all their shavings go into, and then we fill up a trailer. But the barn owner has told them, you know, what kind of you know, wood is actually safe for the horses, and then they set that aside. Black walnut in particular is poisonous to horses. You know, you guys can actually Google the wood, the types of shavings that are poisonous to horses, because I'm not going to go through the whole list here. But, you know, if you are getting shavings for your horses, keep in mind that horses eat ridiculous things sometimes. And I've seen horses literally chew on shavings just for no reason at all. Also, when you are putting shavings in your stall, what is important is you can see this kind of triangle here that's under his hay bag. We put the shavings up to a certain point here, but you can see there's no shavings directly under his hay bag. Why? Because when he pulls hay out of there and it drops to the ground, which he will clean all that up, he'll eat it right off the ground, we don't want him eating these shavings. So we always leave an area in all of our stalls for the horses to have a clean area, that if their hay drops, or maybe there's a feed bucket in here, maybe they drop some grain, we don't want them eating the screenings. Another thing is, the shavings. But because I said screenings, it was on my mind. A lot of people will put these things called screenings. It's that gray sort of dusty material, like driveway screenings, or it's called crush and run, or, you know, people call it all kinds of different stuff. But lots of times they'll use that in like arenas, covered arenas, outdoor arenas. And inevitably I see people feeding their horses in the arena, and then the horse will eat out of a bucket. They'll drop their grain onto those screenings or that crush and run, and then they'll go down and they'll pick it back up. And what happens is those screenings stick to their feed, and then they're swallowing that, and it can cause what is called sand colic. And if that happens, your horse can become extremely ill. So if you do have an arena or some area that is full of screenings or crush and run, I would suggest putting down some type of big mat. If you have to feed in there, put a big mat down, feed them on that mat. That way, if the feed happens to drop out of their mouth, which it inevitably will, or they knock it over, then they're not eating out of those screenings, or in this case, out of these shavings. So you know, get a big rubber mat. You can get a stall mat and use it. Make sure you keep a broom nearby, so when they're done eating, you can really quickly sweep it off, and then it will be clean again for the next time. So these are just some tips that we've learned throughout the years, and I hope this helps. And yeah, I'm going to... I've got to go let my horses out because they are all standing in their feed pens right now, and they are done eating, and they want me to let them out. Look at Wyatt. He's got his... he's trying to reach over the... Don't eat that! He's literally chewing on the wooden post. So Whiskey's standing there trying to play with him, and I've got to get back over there and let him out. But over here is Mr. Phoenix. Phoenix is a quarter horse. He is the herd boss over here. Hi, sweet boy. He is also another rescue horse. Phoenix was extremely lame when he was rescued. He had foundered, or what's called laminitis, really, really badly in his feet. He couldn't really even hardly walk. That means that they eat way too much fresh green grass with too much sugar in it, and they develop a hoof condition, and it makes them extremely sore. They can't hardly move. So there was a lot of medical time, effort, and energy that went into Phoenix as well. So, and then of course over here, and I slip behind you, buddy. And again, I'm in a very enclosed space here, folks. I'm going to walk behind this horse who is not my horse, and I need to be careful. Okay, so I would not recommend, if you don't know the horse, do not walk in a stall with them, because if you get hung up here, you can get killed. So I always, when I'm walking behind usually any horse, I come down behind them, I let them know that I'm behind them, okay, and then I'm just going to walk. I'm going to just kind of make extra certain that he knows that I'm behind him, and I'm going to walk right behind him like that, and my hand is still on him, see? So if he had got me hung up there and started kicking at me, I could have been in trouble. I mean, I know this horse. I've massaged this horse. I've worked with this horse. So I wasn't worried about him, but I would not do this with a horse I did not know. And even with the horses that I know who are not mine, I still do that that process, because I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm making them as safe as possible and as comfortable as possible, and as well as myself. So, you know, you just have to be really careful when you're in an enclosed space with them. And then here is Thunder. As I said, he is an Arabian as well. The Black Stallion was an Arabian, so a lot of people see Thunder and they're reminded of the Black Stallion. He is what is called a Kravitz Arabian. He comes from the Kravitz line. He's got a very different shape than most Arabians. He's got a very big barrel here. A lot of Arabians are like Comet over there, much smaller, more petite. The Kravitz are known for this big, you know, this larger style barrel, large neck. But Thunder is a beautiful boy as well. So he's out here eating on that other style hay net that I was telling you about. I'm not going to interrupt him right now, but I'm going to show you this style hay net. So for a horse like Comet, whose teeth are very compromised, this style hay net is a little more difficult for him to eat, because as he bites it, his teeth, if they have a separation in them, as he bites down into this, that can become stuck in between his teeth. And then he pulls, and then he's got himself into kind of a jam. That's why Comet likes these kind of hay bags, and he prefers to eat out of these hay bags. So we make sure that we give them a variety. And again, we don't give free choice to him, because he is a choking risk. He has choked in the past. The vet said these are great for him, so that's what's working. But all right, folks, I am cold. My hands are cold, and I am going to go let my horses out of their pens, and I will talk to you all later. Take care.